What's going on, guys? Welcome to that video. So this one I'm going to show you my tier list for top lane Yone and mid lane Yone, and I'm going to go ahead and rate all the matchups between easy and extreme. And also I'm going to tell you how to behave against these hard matchups, what kind of runes to pick and items, all that juicy stuff. I'm going to tell you that. So hopefully that if you finished watching this video, you will be good to go against any of these champions, any of these hard matchups, okay? This is the goal of that video. If you don't agree with champions that I rate in certain brackets, let's say if I say Akali should be over here, and you are like, hey, what are you doing, man? Akali should be in the easy bracket. Because the only thing you have to do is this and that and this and that, and that's it. If this is the case, please go ahead. Don't be like in the comments, oh, you have no idea and so on. Just tell us. Just tell us how you handle Akali, and we can benefit from you, just like you benefit from me, hopefully. So we can all benefit from each other like a community, you know? Because my rating is based on my personal experience, and I'm only a Diamond 3 on EU West scrub, okay? So maybe some of you are master and find this matchup against Akali much easier than me, and you would put her over here. Then tell us please in the comment section how you do it. How do you behave against Akali? Because at the end of the day, it's all about, we love to play Yone and we want to enjoy playing Yone. And to enjoy him, of course, we have to know how to behave against certain champions. So with that being said, let's start the video. Alright guys, we're gonna start things off with my boy Atrix, and I would rate Atrix over here in the easy bracket. It is easy to fight Atrix because all you gotta do is avoid getting hit by his Q. Okay, that's all you gotta do. He's all about his Q, and if you can avoid to get hit by his Q, then you are fine. You can apply your damage, even though if you go in a close fight, you can stay next to him, and even though if he hits you with the Q, it's all good as long you don't get hit by his Q edge. I'm just gonna call it like that. Then it's okay, because otherwise he will just knock you up. So you can just if he is about to do his third Q, you can just E out of it. You can say dash with E and still apply damage on him. Okay, so avoid getting hit by these Qs and you are good to go, guys. You want to pick up Conquer against this bad boy, and you can go for, because you're gonna have some extended traits. You want to have Conquer, of course, and what I then suggest is to go for the Domination rune tree with a Taste of Blood and a Ravenous Hunter. Alright guys, so then we have next up in the list, we have Ahri, and I'm gonna put Ahri over here. Whenever I faced Ahri on the mid lane, it was really tough, because this champion is so mobile. She has a lot of mobility, and she can just dash away from your Q3 or your ult. Okay, your skill shots, she can really easy dodge them with her ult, and every time you try to like engage on her, she will just charm you. Okay, she will just charm you in the face and you will be charmed, and she can apply all her damage. So it's really, I found it at least really hard to face her. So basically what I want to do against Ahri is you want to play it safe, okay? Focus on farming, don't focus on killing her. The next thing you can do is like, you can go for short trades, okay? Keep in mind, if she charms you, she will do a lot of damage. So try to bait out her charm, okay? If you can bait out her charm, you can go for these little trades. Always go for short trades, don't go for extended trades. And if you poke her down, like let's say half-life, then you can go for an all-in. Okay, then you can go for that, ignite, put ignite on her, and you can just kill her. The way you want to do it is you want to stack up your Q3, okay, your NATO, and then you just E forward and NATO her. Immediately after, make sure to hit your R. It's really important, because otherwise she will just ult away or just flash away. So NATO her, and then immediately after ult her, put ignite on her, do your combo, and hopefully you will kill her. As I said, if she is low life, you can kill her like that, okay? Until you get her low life, you want to play it safe, guys. Focus on farming. Go for short trades. Only short trades, guys. And the rune you want to pick up against Ahri is Fleet Footwork, okay? Fleet Footwork to get some sustain in. and you wanna pick up on the resolve tree second win. Okay, then you will be good to go. You can sustain on the lane and you can focus on farming, even though if she hits you with the Q or tries to poke you down with the auto attacks because of electrocute. Most of the times Ahris go for, some of them go for Glacial Augment, yes, but some of them go also for Electrocute, especially then they will try to poke you down with auto attacks simply. To get some heal back, to get some health back, you want to have Fleet Footwork and second win. So next up in the list we have Akali, guys, and I would rate Akali over here. It's also a hard matchup. It's not that hard pre-6, but post-6 it can be really hard against Akali if it's a really good Akali player, okay? I'm not talking about low elo scrub Akali players, okay? I'm talking about higher elo Akalis. And what Akali will do is like she will look for you. Whenever you go to last hit these minions, she will try to last hit the minions as well, but hit you at the same time. This is what Akali players look for, okay? So with that being said, try to last hit the minions with your Q, okay? So with the Q you will have the range and you can stay a little bit away from the minions, avoiding getting hit by Akali Q. So then you just stay a little bit back and try to Q the minion in order to farm it up. The next problem with Akali is whenever you stacked up your Nado and you try to actually Nado her, she will then, at this moment, she will just use her, I don't know what it is, her jump back. She will throw something at you, shuriken or something. She will throw it on you and jump back. So you end up not hitting her with the Q, and that's the problem. After this happened, if she got away and then you will just press E again back into your body, she will then press, I don't know what ability it is, but she will then press another button and then jump on you again and do her combo, do a Q, and then go into the Shroud, okay? Use her Shroud, and this is really the problem with Akali is really the Shroud. You cannot see her again, but you can to guess where she is, but the Shroud makes it really hard. So the way you want to kill Akali is, guys, you want to, at level 4, there is a little window where you can actually kill Akali. So look for her energy bar. Whenever it drops low, you want to engage on her, okay? Because if she does like, I'm not really sure, but if she does like 2 Qs, she will drop low on the energy. And if this happens, this is like your window where you can go for these trades, okay? You want to have your Nado stacked up and then engage on her. Even though if you don't have Nado stacked up, just E on her, do a couple auto attacks and Q her and get some trades in, okay? So this is the window where you want to trade against Akali. After that, if you reached level 6, you want to go for these short trades, drop her low on half-life, and then stack up your Nado, and then you can go for an all-in, okay? Even though if she goes into the Shroud, you can still hit her with the ult if you are fast enough, okay? So drop her on the half-life, okay? Drop her on half-life, then look for an all-in, okay? If she uses her Q and she drops low on energy, just engage on her and you can kill her. It's no problem, okay? But until then, it will be a little bit hard. Alright guys, next up in the list we got Anivia, and I'm gonna put Anivia over here in the bracket even. Anivia's early is really weak, okay? She's really weak in the early, but she's really strong against melee champions such as Yone, okay? Because what Anivias do is they will look to proc electrocute a lot on you. So whenever it goes on cooldown, they wait for it to come up again and then just to proc it again. So what they do is most of the times they just Q and E combo you and then just auto attack you. Because of the auto attacks, the range of it is really a little bit higher on Anivia than usually on other champions. So what they look for is QE auto attack, and they will proc electrocute, and you will be half-life, okay? This is the problem with Anivia. So what you want to do is like, you want to stay back, guys, and focus again on farming. You want to focus on minions. You will find an opportunity later on, level 4, for example. But what you have to avoid is getting hit by the stun. So try to bait out the stun. If you can, dash with your E to avoid getting hit by the stun. Okay, if you can, if you have these reflexes, this is how I did it. I always used my E, you can say, to avoid getting stunned by Anivia, and then I just walked forward and slapped her and Q'd her and snapped back. So you want to look for these short trades again against Anivia and avoid getting hit by her stun. Post 6, everything becomes a little bit harder, guys. Okay, post 6, you should avoid fighting Anivia. Because what Anivias do at level 6, they will try to hit you with the ult and then they go for the combo and you will be dead, you can say, okay? They will try to wall you, put a wall behind you to stun you then and proc electrocute again and then to kill you. But what you can do, but this is only for advanced Yone players, what you can do is the second she channels her ult, you can ult her to stop her ult. Okay, this is what you can do. Have your NATO stacked up, and if you see she uses her ult, then you can cancel her ult by ulting her. You see, you have to be fast, okay? You have to be fast, and you can go for some auto attacks here and there. But you can say most of the times, all Anivias, what they do is after level 6, they just push out lanes. So you should be good to go just by farming these minions. Whenever she pushes out, you can just farm that. And this is what most of the Anivias do. They hit 6 and put the ult just at the middle of the lane to push all the minions. So this is what you should look for, okay, guys? So in order to counter Anivia, what you want to do is like she's really immobile, and if she just pushes out the wave, you just push back, look for roams. Okay, look for roams, because this way you can destroy Anivia, okay? She's so immobile and takes like hours for her to get on another lane. So just look for side lanes, look for roams, look for ganks, and this is the way how you can destroy Anivia. Maybe sometimes some of them, they will just follow your roam and you can just catch them off guard in a bush or something, and then you can just engage on them. This is also possible. The problem with Anivia is really just to get to her, because whenever you go next to her, she will just stun you. This is the problem. So it has to be a surprise in order to kill Anivia, in order to get near Anivia, okay, guys? And also here, what I recommend is, again, I recommend to go for fleet footwork against Anivia. Also second wind, of course, get the armor on the little runes against Anivia, so you can stay longer on the lane and farm up. Also, you can try to get a vampire scepter, so you can heal more back, you know, because you're gonna build immortal shield bow anyways. All right, next one, dude. Next one is really tough. Annie, I'm gonna put that champion over here, extreme. I faced an Annie one time and it was a pain in the ass. I can tell you that, guys. It was a pain in the ass. Annie is a champion that can stun you with point and click. So it's really easy for her to land her stun. And this is the problem with Annie, okay? She will just stack it up, and once she got the stun ready, she will just all in you, and with electrocute she can just burst you down even on level 2, okay? She can kill you that early, and facing Annie is just disgusting. It's just really tough, at least for me. If you got some tips, man, hey, tell me that in the comment section, but for me it's really, really tough. What I recommend though is to go for fleet footwork against her and have the resolve tree going on, guys. Have the resolve tree in your back. It's better for you to go for bone plating, because most Annies, they will go for the all in and spam all the abilities. So having bone plating will block a lot of damage from these champions, these kind of champions. So have resolve in your rune page, on your rune page, and have bone plating, and you can go for revitalize. Because you need Doran's shield for that matchup, okay? You need, as the side item that I recommend here, is Doran's shield, and together with fleet footwork, revitalize will heal you a lot. So against Annie, it's all about to survive the laning phase, guys. I also recommend you can also go for Mercs, just to escape that CC of hers. Her CC burst is really the problem here. And you can go for Mercs early and sell them later on to get your attack speed boots. You can do it like that, okay? Because the CC burst is really the problem here, and you want to avoid to get hit that often by Annie, okay, guys? So Later on, everything becomes a little bit easier, but the laning phase is tough, is really tough. So try to stay back, survive the laning phase, pick up the runes that you need to survive that laning phase, focus on the minions, guys, from the minions up, and yeah, pray to the Lord that your jungler helps you, otherwise you just focus on the minions, and later on you're gonna smash her, okay? Later on, once you got your immortal sheet bow, you can look for these traits and maybe to all in her whenever she used her stun, okay? Make sure that she used her stun on something, on a minion, to farm it up, okay? You can see the little things below her bar, below her health bar. So whenever this is empty, then you can go for the trait and maybe all in her and kill her. All right, next up in the list, we got Aurelian Soul, and I'm gonna put Aurelian Soul over here. He is not really a problem, Aurelian Soul. He has that, you can avoid getting hit by his things that are around him. It's really easy to dodge them. It's not a big problem. His stun is also dodgeable. It's not a big deal. You can look for early trades and also to kill him on level 4. I mean, level 4 is really key. You can go for it on level 4 and try to kill him with the NATO. Stack up your NATO. Just engage on him, E forward, engage on him with the NATO, knock him up, get another some auto attacks in there, Q him, and he will be good to go, guys. Do this 2 times, and he's dead. Okay, he's dead just like that. He cannot do much against that. Aurelian Soul is a really easy matchup. You can go for Conqueror here because you don't really need a lot of sustain against this guy if you avoid just getting hit by his I don't know what it is, Q or something. This guy will just look for pushing out the wave and roaming. This is what he is going to look for. So you want to push back. He's not really going to poke you unless you run in his things that are around him. Okay, if you are dead, I say dumb, then it's your fault, you know. But this guy is just going to look for pushing out and roams. Okay, so you push back, try to engage on him. Okay, whenever you got stacked up NATO, just engage on him. Do these little traits, and eventually after 2 times you can kill him. Okay, go for Conqueror. You don't need fleet footwork here. You can go for Domination on the second tree, pick up Taste of Blood, so whenever you get engaged on him, you can heal back. Ravenous Hunter also, whenever you engage on him, you can heal back with your abilities and auto attacks, guys. That's it. That's it. Easy. All right, the next champion is Azir, and I'm gonna put Azir also over here in the easy bracket. He has no stun, so he cannot avoid you to get on him, okay? There are some champions that have disengages. Whenever you jump on them, they can just press a button and you will just fly away, okay? Or you will be stunned. This is not the case for Azir. Azir is really vulnerable, especially in the early levels. Post 6, with his soldiers that he receives, he can knock you back. But if you press ult at this very time, you will be unstoppable because you're gonna go through him. Okay, so you will still reach him, and this is the problem with Azir. If a champion can reach Azir, Azir is done. Okay, he has no chance, absolutely no chance. So on the early levels, what I recommend is to stay safe a little bit. Okay, to farm up, it's all cool. You stay safe, farm up. Azir is a mana-hungry champion. Stack up your NATO, look for these short traits, and then engage on him. Get some help from him, get him low. And then you can eventually look for an all-in on level 6. You can just press R whenever he presses R and you will be unstoppable. You will just jump on him and kill him. It's really easy against him. So what I recommend is to go for fleet footwork, because this guy is going to place some soldiers in front of you that will try to poke you down. And this is what you should avoid. So whenever he throws a soldier on you that will attack you, you will get some health back by attacking the minions with fleet footwork, okay, guys? And for the second runes, you can choose between Resolve. It's not a big deal against Azir, as I said. You can go for Domination, Taste of Blood, and Ravenous Hunter again. It's completely okay. But you can also go for Resolve by picking up Second Wind, okay? But what I went for is like Taste of Blood and Ravenous Hunter, because it's a really easy matchup, because it's so easy to get on Azir. It's really easy to get to him, okay? To get on him, because he has no disengages, as I said, and that makes him so vulnerable. And whenever he tries to trade back, keep in mind, Azir is a mana hungry champion, he will get he will go so easy, while you can just farm the minions and get health back. So don't panic if he engages on you, if he pokes you. It's not a big deal. This is actually what you are looking for, because he's gonna drop and you will get the health back from fleet footwork and your Doran's Blade. You will just get the health back. It's all good. All right, the next champ is Brand, but we're not gonna cover Brand because most of the players play him as a support. I've never faced a Brand, so I cannot really talk about Brand. But if you got something, guys, we got some tips and tricks, hey, tell us this in the comment section so we can learn from each other, okay? So we're gonna instead go for Camille, because you're gonna face a Camille if you play Yone on the top lane. Here and there, you will face her, but where do I put her? I would put her over here in the easy bracket, or maybe even, but definitely not hard. I mean, good Camille players, they will adapt to the situation and they know how to behave against Yone. They will just play safe. But usually, you got all the tools to beat Camille. You got all the tools, okay, guys? All you have to do is like to avoid getting hit by her W. That's all you gotta do, okay? She will heal with that. If she tries to E you or to E away, I mean the jump, I'm talking about the jump, you got the tool to actually stop her. Okay, you can ult her and you will stop her jump. You can Q3 her and you can stop the jump again. So what you want to do against Camille is pretty easy. At level 1, you just stay safe. Okay, you just farm up, farm your minions. At level 3, you can go for these short trades. Okay, and you will win all of the short trades. All you gotta do is like Q the minions, get your Q3, get your NATO, and all you have to do is then press E forward, knock her up, do an auto attack, maybe Q after it, and then snap back. That's all it. Next up in the list, we got the Snake. Okay, I'm gonna put the Snake, Cassiopeia. I'm not gonna put her in the easy bracket. Also not in the hard bracket. I'm gonna put her over here next to Anivia, because Cassiopeia is all about dodging her abilities. So in order to damage you, she has to hit her abilities, okay? These abilities are not that easy to hit, and if you can avoid getting hit by these abilities, then you are good to go, guys, okay, against Cassiopeia. She's also post 6, all about her ult. What you want to do is, you don't want to face her straight. You don't want to stare at her whenever she does her ult, okay? You want to turn around. This is really key. So this is like, you can say, a skill matchup. If Cassiopeia is good in landing her skill shots, and if you are bad at dodging skill shots, then you will suffer a lot. And then I recommend you to go for fleet footwork. But if you are good at dodging skill shots, then I can recommend you to go for Conqueror even. But the key is really post 6, you wanna turn around. You want to turn around whenever she tries to ult you, okay? Because then it will only slow you, it will not stun you. But if she stuns you, then you are dead. You can say you are dead, okay? She will just do her stuff, her ability combo, and then maybe ignite your ass, and you will just die, okay, guys? 3-6, you can say the laning phase is easy. All you gotta do, as I said, you gotta dodge the abilities. Just farm up your NATO, and whenever you get your Q3, you get it stacked up, fully stacked up, you can just engage on her. You just E forward, Q her, do an auto attack, and E back. That's it. And she can do shit against that, okay? So whenever she gets the chance to actually respond to it, you just E back. Okay, this way you avoid getting hit by anything of her. You do this 2 times, and the 3rd time you can just kill her, okay? She will be low, she will be half-life after the first time from your level 3, and then you can start this. Okay, you can start this poke, do it 2 times, she will be low, and then the 3rd time you can kill her. That easy. That easy against Cassiopeia, okay, guys? What I recommend is to buy tier 2 boots ASAP, okay? Because this way, dodging is really easy, okay? Once you got your tier 2 boots, it will be really easy to dodge her abilities. Even the ult turning around will be so much easier. Will be so much easier with tier 2 boats. Okay, then we have Cho'gath. Cho'gath is not a big deal. It's a really easy matchup. You can easy own this champion. It's not a big deal. You go for Conqueror, guys. You go for Taste of Blood or Ravenous Hunter, and you can just force him away from the minion wave, okay, guys. And you stack up your NATO and engage on him with E forward, and then just NATO him, auto attack him, Q him, and just run around, because dodging his Q ability is really easy, and it's not a big deal. You can just run around and like him hitting you with his Q. That is like, I don't know, surprise, guys. The only thing you should keep in mind is avoiding to drop low, because then he will just ult you and that's it, okay? So before he gets tanky, it's so easy for Yone to kill him. So this is not a matchup for Yone. It's that easy, guys. It's that easy for Yone. So it's not a big deal. Corki is also a champion that I'm gonna put over here in the easy bracket. Corki is not really a threat to Yone. I mean, the very early, like level 1 can be a little bit tough maybe, because he will just try to auto attack you maybe. But this is not a big deal. After your first back, once you get your Berserkers, it's done for him. The lane is basically done for him. You stack up your NATO, you all in him, and that's it. He cannot really do much in the early because his damage is not that high in the early. Later on he scales once he got some items. Then he becomes viable. You can go for the Conqueror tree. On the second tree, you can go for Taste of Blood and Ravenous Hunter. And if you wanted to avoid some damage and get some heal back, you can go for Doran's Shield. This is what I recommend here. Doran's Shield, Health Potion, and of course a Ward. And once you get level 3, dude, this lane is over. You can just jump on him and he will be not able to do anything. All right, then we have the top lane monster himself, Mr. Darius. I'm not gonna put him in the easy bracket because once Darius gets on you, you are done. Okay. Also, I'm not gonna put him in the hard bracket because if you kite him, it's all good. So I'm gonna put him over here in the even bracket. So Darius is all about pulling you in, you're slowing you, and then to walk a little bit away from you to Q you to get the heal back, and then continue with the auto attacks, and his passive will hurt a lot. Okay, this is all what Darius players are looking for. This is also what Yone player have to avoid. So don't get into a 1v1 situation like that. Avoid getting pulled by him, because if he does that, then you will lose the trade easy. Okay, so what you have to do is to stay safe in the early, farm your minions with the Q, miss a couple minions if you have to, then it is like it is what it is, guys. But if you want to trade with him, only if you got your Q3, okay, if you got your NATO stacked up, then you want to E forward, hit him with the Q. If you don't hit him with the Q, just snap back, okay? Or you can go for maybe an auto attack and a Q and then snap back, it's all good. But the point is, you have to have a disengage. If you don't have a disengage, then he will just shit on you, okay? He will just do his combo, especially post 6, guys. He will just do his combo and then just R you, and you are dead, okay? That easy. So what makes this matchup not that hard is the way you behave on this lane. If you mess it up, then this matchup can be really tough, and you want to put them maybe over here in the hard bracket. But if you play it like wisely, if you play it like in a smart way, then all you gotta do is like avoid getting pulled by him, and the only time where you trade with him is when you get your Negito, and then you will be fine. As for the runes, I recommend you to go for Conqueror. You don't need fleet footwork here because he cannot really poke you. As I said, he's looking for the combo, so if you can avoid that, you are good to go. For the second tree, you can go for either Resolve or Domination. Resolve because if you get pulled in, Bone Plating will help you a lot, okay? But if you are self-confident, and if you think you can avoid that, then you can go for Domination, and Taste of Blood, Ravenous Hunter will be good. All right, where do I put the Moon Lady, aka Diana? I put her not in the easy bracket because she can burst you down. Also, she has no CC, so I'm not gonna put her in the hard bracket. I mean, post 6 she has a little bit, but pre 6 not. So I'm gonna put her over here in the even bracket. So it depends on how you play, you can say, okay? So if you play bad, then she will benefit out of that, and she will have the, you can say, upper hand. But if you play it smart, then you will have the upper hand. So this is why I'm going to put her over here. So Diana is can be tanky because of her W. So whenever she engages on you or you engages on her, she will just pop the W and she will get the shield to suck off that to suck a little bit of that damage. But what you have to do is, like, against Diana is pretty easy. All you have to do is like dodge her Q. Okay, so again, this is a skill shot. What Diana players do is they will try to hit you with the Q and then E on you into W. Okay, this is what Diana players look for. So if you, as long as you can avoid getting hit by that Q, she will not E on you. Okay, then you will be safe. So what you want to do is, like, you stay back and wait until Diana does her Q. Once she wasted her Q and you dodged it, or she wasted it on a minion, then you want to look for a trade, okay? Because her Q will be on cooldown. She cannot use really her E without her Q. Then you will be good to go, okay? You can go for the Conqueror tree again, guys. You can pick up Conqueror, because as long as you can avoid getting hit by that Q, you will be good to go. You can go for you can go for Conqueror, Dorn Shield, and you will be completely fine on the resolve tree. However, I recommend you to go for Bone Plating. Okay, because Diana, as I said, is a bursty champion, so she likes to burst down people. And once she hits that Q and post 6, she will just engage on you. And having Bone Plating in this second is really helpful, because it's gonna suck a lot of damage of Diana, because it's all about the combos. She will combo these abilities, and Bone Plating will be there to suck most of that damage, so you can respond to it and you can fight back. So this is what I recommend. All right, Mundo, you don't see him really on the top lane. Just maybe I saw him a few. I'm not really sure. Maybe one time or something. He's not really a top lane. He's right now a jungler. But if he appears on the top lane, he's an easy matchup. He has nothing that he can CC you with or poke you really, because as long as you stay behind the minions, you are safe from his Q. You stack up NATO, you engage on him, trade, look for these short trades until you drop him half-life, then you're all in, and that's it. You can go for Conqueror here, of course, and Taste of Blood on the second tree, Ravenous Hunter, and you are good to go. All right, next up in the list, we got Ekko. He is a jungler. We aren't going to talk about Ekko. We're not going to talk about Azir. He's an ADC, but we're going to talk about Fiora, because you will meet her on the top lane if you play Yone top lane. When it comes to Fiora, I don't want to put her in the hard bracket, because the matchup is not really hard, and also can be actually easy. So I'm going to put her over here. Why? Because Fiora players, they will look for proccing their passive on you. So they will wait until the passive appears on you, and it will just try to hit you from that angle to proc the passive. So with that in mind, guys, all you have to avoid against Fiora is to not let her to proc the passive. This is all about. How do you do that? It's pretty easy. So whenever the passive appears, all you gotta do is like walk away and it will disappear. Or if it appears behind you, just position yourself next to the wall. Okay, so let's say this is a wall. Okay, this is the wall. Just position yourself. If it appears behind you and she has to actually hit you at your back, then just position yourself next to the wall, and the proc would be over here. Okay, the proc would be between the wall and yourself. So she has actually to be between the wall and yourself. So just position yourself, block the way from where she has to attack you. Okay, the angle. And that's all about. Position yourself like that, and you will be good against Fiora. And the next problem is I'm not really sure about the name of her ability, but there is an ability, I think it's the E ability, where she can just avoid getting CC'd, and she will just reflect it and CC you. This is what you have to avoid. This is so essential for Yone to not get hit by that, because what she's gonna look for, use that ability whenever you ult, okay? Because the ult has a channel time, and she will see that you are ulting, and then she will be like, okay, now I'm gonna press E to block his ult. This is what you have to avoid, okay, guys? So whenever her E ability is down, then you can look for that, but not before. So what you want to do is, if you go for these traits, you stack up your NATO and you engage on her. If you hit your NATO immediately after, please use your R. Because if you don't, and you put an auto attack or another Q between it, she will just use her E and you will be using your ult and she will just block it. Okay, so it's really essential here to play around this ability, not to get hit by this ability. You can go for Conqueror as usual, guys. It's not a big deal. If you see that she's proccing her passive a lot, you can go for Second Wind. I'm not really sure when it comes to you guys if you are good at dodging or not, but if you are good at dodging, you can go for Taste of Blood and a Revenant Hunter. You don't have to go for Second Wind. And if you want to go for Taste of Blood and Revenant Hunter, you are good to go if you pick up Doran's Shield, okay? And with that will give you some heal back whenever she procs the passive. But if you avoid her to proc her passive, then you should be good to go in this matchup. All right, guys, now we had the snake, now we have the fish, the fishman himself, Mr. Fitz. It can be really tough, okay? I'm gonna put him over here, and either you can put him in the hard bracket or in the extreme bracket. I'm gonna put him in the extreme bracket because this guy can just use his E whenever you engage on him, so he can avoid your ult and your Q3. So it's not a big deal to avoid your engages. Fitz is really good at avoiding your engages, okay, guys? And also if he hits the ult, it's so easy for him to actually burst you down. He's also a burst damage type of a dealer, so it can be really tough against him. Try to bait out his E. Don't engage on him if he got his E up. Pick up fleet footwork. Try to survive the lane. Just farm. Try to not get engaged on. Try to get your boots ASAP so you can dodge the ult. Once his ult is down, you can look for longer trades. But until then, just focus on farming. It's all good. Focus on farming. Get the minions. Get the items. And it's all good. Later on in the team fights, you will be useful anyways, but avoid Fitz when he has his E up, guys. This is really essential. And since Fitz is melee, he's not a range champion, he will walk to the minions. And this is actually the moment where you can trade with him. So let's say he walks up and wants to last hit this minion. This is the second where you use your Q, okay? You can, for example, kill a minion and trade with him at the same time and do damage to him at the same time, guys. This is how you want to play this matchup. You gotta be very smart and look for these short trades. As I said, whenever he walks up, just Q him. Okay, that's it. You are not looking for more. It's all good. Okay, look for that. And if you got your Q3 stacked up, then you can look for another short engage. Try to hit him. Once you hit him, then just snap back. It's all good, okay? You are looking for these short trades until you can bait out his E. And once you got his E, this guy will not know what's going on, okay? This guy will be like, oh, what's going on, man? Where's this guy getting the damage from, okay? So bait out the E. If you can't, just calm down, relax, farm until he uses E. If he walks up, Q him at the same time, hit the minion. It's all good. Okay, focus on farming. All right, guys. Next one is Galio, and Galio is one of these easy matchups in my opinion. Similar to Cho'gath, he got nothing really to burst you down. Everything is dodgeable. So if he Qs you, you can just dodge the Q. You can dodge his E. The only thing that he can lock you down though, in order to get ganked, is his taunt. So you gotta be aware of that. But usually what you want to do is like you want to run Conqueror and Taste the Blood, and you want to have Revenant Hunter in your kit, and then all you gotta do is like stack up your NATO, you engage on him, look for these traits, keep him, get him down. You can force him away from the minions, is not a big deal. So he has to actually queue the minions in order to get some farm, and he will drop low with the mana. So the matchup is not a big deal, it's easy. Next easy matchup is on the top lane, which is Gangplank. Gangplank will usually, what Gangplanks do is like they will poke you down, they will try to poke you down with it, with the Q, and stack up their Grasp of the Undying at the same time. So as long as you stay out of that range, he will have to decide, do I use my Q on the minion right now, or do I use it on the champion? Just stay out of the range. And he has nothing really to face you with, because once you have stacked up your NATO again, you can just simply engage on him, he will maybe W your NATO, so you can just follow it by the ult. And yeah, he has nothing really to face you with. So what you can do is like you can run a Doran's shield to suck to get some health back from the poke that he will do on you, or you can go for Doran's blade but second wind instead. So you have that heal back whenever he goes for a poke Q. Okay, the next matchup will be on the top lane, which is Garen. Garen is one of these champions. It's not really easy against him, but it's not really hard at the same time. So I'm gonna put him over here in the even bracket. So the thing with Garen is he can just engage on you and silence you, and he will then spin around until you drop low, and then he will just ult you. Any champion that can engage on you and burst you down just like that is a problem for Yone. Yone is vulnerable to these champions, to these bursty engage type of champions. Okay, so you gotta take care about that and be aware of that. With that in mind, guys, if you keep that in mind, all you gotta do is like stay away from that. Whenever he does that, you just walk back. You walk back whenever he goes for a Q. If Garen uses his Q on a minion to last at it, this is your time to shine, okay? This is the time where you just engage on him. You can just E forward and just try to apply as much damage as you can, and then just snap back into your body and get that juicy damage in. This is how you deal against that guy. Once you are post 6, you can look for an all in after you have poked him down. You do it twice. You stack up NATO, E forward, just Q him with the NATO, knock him up, and then you can go for another auto attack into ult and burst him down like that. Okay, this is how you can do it. You run a Conqueror in this matchup. Also, you can, what I recommend is to run Bone Plating in this matchup, because if he gets to Q you, he will then spin around and Bone Plating will suck that damage. So I'm recommending Bone Plating on that one. So the next one on our list is Gnar, and I'm gonna put Gnar. Can I put him over here? Yes, I can. Gnar is an easy matchup, so this is why I'm gonna put him in the easy bracket right here, guys. Because Gnar is all about his W, so he wants to stack up his W to then proc it with another auto attack or Q. So with that in mind, all you gotta do is whenever he stacks up his W, you just walk away until it disappears, okay? So he auto attacks you once, twice, then if he auto attacks you a third time, then he will just proc the W passive and he will do a lot of damage. So with that in mind, guys, you just back off whenever he does that, okay? Also, avoid fighting Gnar whenever he gets his Mega Gnar form, okay? Because then he will have stunned, then he will CC you, and he will lock you down and will ult you against the wall, and this is the problem here. So avoid fighting Gnar whenever he gets Mega Gnar form, and just stay away from it until he just transforms back into Mini Gnar, and then you can just fight him back. You can just all in him and you will be Gucci, guys. As for the runes, I recommend to go Conqueror here, guys. All you gotta do is like keep in mind, stay away from his auto attack range, and you can go for Doran's Blade if you see that you get auto attacked a lot. So whenever he auto attacks, you will get that heal back with Doran's shield, but you don't have to. I recommend actually to go for Doran's Blade, and on the second tree you can go for second wind if you want to. But swap that around if you want to go for Domination, Taste of Blood, and Revenant Hunter, then go for Doran's Shield, okay? So whenever you go for Doran's Blade, go for second wind. If you go for Doran's Shield, go for Taste of Blood and Revenant Hunter. Then we got Gragas, and Gragas, I'm just gonna put him in the easy bracket because it's not a big deal to handle Gragas. Gragas, all that Gragas players are looking for is like to E. They will drink, they will do W, they will drink that thing, the beer, and then they will just dash forward to hit you with it, and then with the auto attack they will do a lot of damage because of W. Throw another barrel over there, and then just back off. This is what they look for. Because of Phase Rush, they will just make it out of there before you can even react to it, okay? This is what Gragas player look for. So with that in mind, guys, just keep the distance, just stay back from the minions, and you decide when to trade, okay? Whenever you got stacked up the NATO again, you just E forward and just engage on him. Tries to E you can NATO it, you can knock him up with that, okay? And you should be Gucci. The only thing about Gragas is it's not easy. He's not easy to kill because he has the disengages on his E, on his ult. So whenever you want to go for it, he can just ult you away, but that shouldn't be a big problem because you can still, as I said, you can look for these easy trades to get him low, and once you see the opportunity to actually kill him post 6 with the ultimate, you can go for an all-in and he will be not able to respond to that. So the matchup is really easy. You go for Conqueror again on the secondary, you go for bone plating because you will not be able to avoid all his engages. He will get some engages here and there, and to have bone plating again to suck all the damage that he does in this window, in this very short period of time, with his EWQ combo, WEQ combo, that is actually good, and that would actually avoid him doing too much damage, guys. So I'm definitely recommending to go for bone plating here. So then we got the smart boy himself, Mr. Heimat. Do I have to speak about Heimerdinger here? I think yeah, just do it, okay? Heimerdinger is like one of these champions, one of these matchups that is really easy for Yone, because Heimerdinger is just gonna look for to push it in with his turrets, and you can just stay back and farm the lane. The only thing you gotta avoid is to get stunned by him, because then he will just use his turrets and they will all attack you. So you gotta avoid that, but it's not that hard to actually dodge his stun. It's actually easy, so it shouldn't be a big problem here. Like, Heimerdinger is one of these champions that are vulnerable whenever someone can engage on him, okay? Heimerdinger don't want people to engage on him, but if there is a champion that can engage on Heimerdinger, then Heimerdinger is actually fucked up, okay? And Yone can do that really good. You can just, as Yone, you can just stack up your NATO, just E forward, engage on him to do your trade, do your attacks, and then snap back into E before he can actually respond to that. And you do this 2-3 times and you can kill him. That's it, guys. You can all in him at post 6. Also, you can all in him post 6 and you can kill him. It's not a big deal against Heimerdinger, guys. All right, let's keep on going. Then we got Elo. Elo is an easy matchup for Yone because Elo got nothing that he can attack us with. Elo is all about her ult, so the only thing that you gotta do as Yone is avoid her ult. That's it, okay? That's it. I mean, if you get hit by her E or whatever it is when she throws that tentacle at you and get the copy of you, if you get hit by that, then uninstall the game. Like, it's so easy to dodge that skill shot. It's so easy. So I'm not gonna speak even about it, okay? What I'm gonna speak is about her ult, but this is also not a big deal for Yone, because usually as Yone, you go in whenever you stacked up your NATO and whenever you have your E ready, okay? So you open the trade with your E, and then you do your things, and if she does ult in that second, you can just press E and walk away, okay? And you are out of that ult. She's all about the ult, and you can deny and avoid that ult so easy with Yone, and this is what makes this matchup so easy. Then you just go for the usual trades until you drop her low and then just all in her, and you can kill her pretty easy. Runes Conqueror, of course, you want to go for Conqueror, you can go for Taste of Blood on the secondary, and Ravenous Hunter, you should be Gucci. Alright guys, next one is Irelia, and I'm gonna put Irelia over here, Extreme. Because good Irelia players, they can actually shit on you. Yone is vulnerable to any champion that can dash, that can basically jump on Yone, okay? And Irelia is one of these champions who can just easily jump on you and apply all the damage and kill you, okay? So what Irelia players will do is like stack up the passive, and the second they stacked up the passive, they will just jump on you and smack you, okay? So with that in mind, guys, what you have to do is like, don't stay near minions that are about to die, okay? Minions that are really low on health, don't stay next to them, because what Irelia players will do, they will just jump on these minions, kill them, and auto attack you at the same time. So, and then they will just back off until they fully stack the passive, and then they will just all in you. And if they hit the stun, you are fucked up, guys. Okay, you should avoid that 100%. So don't stay near minions. This is the tip that I can give you. Try to avoid getting stunned by her E, I think it is. Whenever she, let's say, you don't want to fight her straight up 1v1, but let's say you get forced to, then use your E to dodge her stun, Okay, then you can go for a trade and do your damage thing and everything, and then you should be fine. Okay, just snap back after your combo and this is all good. All right, next up on the list we got Jax, and Jax is not really easy but not really hard. I'm gonna put him next to Garen in the even bracket because Jax is, yes, he can jump on you, and I said earlier on that Yone is vulnerable to champions who can just jump on him, but at the same time Jax is all about his helicopter move. I'm just gonna call it like that, where he denies all the damage income, and this is not a big threat for Yone, because whenever you see the helicopter move, you just walk away and you should be good, because he will just combine these two abilities, the jump and the helicopter move. Okay, guys, I think it's Counter-Strike. Not Counter-Strike. I'm not really sure about the name of this ability, but the thing is here, most of the Jax, they use this combo whenever they want to engage on you or if you engage on them. So with that in mind, guys, whenever you stack up your NATO, you can just E forward and just do your NATO, and whenever he does his helicopter move to deny the damage, the next damage incoming, you just snap back and then you are Gucci. Okay, you just snap back, you will not get hit by the stun, you will not get stunned, and you are good. You just walk away. His helicopter move will just go off, okay? And then you can just re-engage with your ult, for example. Okay, re-engage with the ult and then do your Q and whatever, and you can kill him easy. It's not really a hard matchup, and the runes, for the runes, I would recommend to go Conquer against him is pretty good. You can go for bone plating just in case if he wants to engage on you. Bone plating will do a good job. All right, next one is Jace. Jace is not really easy because he can poke you in the early and he can just knock you back whenever you want to engage on him. But he's not hard. Okay, he's definitely not hard to play against, but he's definitely also not easy. So against Jace, what Jace players do, they will just poke you down. So just stay out of the range. You should be good, especially when he transforms. Okay, when he transforms, he will get that passive going on. He will do more damage at the first auto attack, so stay away from that. Once he used it on a minion, you can get near the minions and then just farm the minions. Once you have stacked up the NATO, you can just engage on him, look for the trades, short trades, boom, 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 and then you just snap back before he can use his E. Even though he can poke you, but his range is really short, so the rune that I'm recommending here, guys, is Conqueror. You can go for Taste of Blood and Ravenous Hunter and pick up Doran's Shield, and you should be good. Whenever he pokes you, Doran's Shield will make up for it, so it's all good. Well, then we got Kassadin. Kassadin is easy. I think there's nothing you can really say about that. Kassadin is melee. He has to walk up to in order to kill the minions, and whenever he does that, you can just punish him. Pre-6, he is free. Post-6, he's still not a problem. Maybe he will get away here and there, but it shouldn't be a problem to actually face this guy. Kassadin is really free for Yone. Runes, as always, you can go for Conqueror, guys, and then just Taste of Blood or Ravenous Hunt and just trade with him. Easy. You can force him out of the lane. You can really dominant. You can be dominant on the lane. It's not a big deal against Kassadin. Same thing for Katarina. Katarina is also not a big deal. You can disable her ult with your ult or with your NATO. It shouldn't be a big deal. You can just go for these early trades. Katarina's always will look to Q you maybe, and Doran's Shield will make up for it, so it shouldn't be a big of a deal. Yeah, just like similar to Kassadin, Katarina's also a melee, so she has to walk up in order to attack the minions, to last at the minions, and whenever she does that, you can just punish her with your abilities, and it shouldn't be their problem. You can kill her easy pre-6. At level 3, it shouldn't be a big deal. It should be easy to actually kill her. Yeah, and then we got Kale on the top lane, mostly on the top lane, which is also an easy matchup. I'm just gonna put her next to Katarina. Yes, she can poke you, but the auto attack range is not that high, so whenever she walks up to poke you, you can just W her, and you should be good. Okay, you can then E forward and then apply your combo and your damage, and you will out damage her pretty easy. And whenever she does her ult, you can just disengage with your E. You just press E again and you just snap back. So you got all the tools that you need to actually deny her, to play around her ult, to deny her damage from the ult. You know, with the E, you just, whenever you stacked up the nade, you just engage with the E and you snap back whenever she uses her ult, and then you should be good. So then we got Cannon. Cannon shouldn't be a big problem, just like Clad and Leblanc. I'm gonna put all three of them in the easy bracket. Cannon is all about his stunts during his ult, and whenever he ults, you can just snap back with your E. Okay, it's really easy to lane against Cannon, and he will try to look to Q you. But if you stay next to the minions, behind the minions, he will not be able to Q you. Actually, he will then look for some empowered auto attacks on you to then W you. Okay, so just stay out of the range and you should be fine. You then stack up again, you go for the pretty basic combo, you stack up your needle, you engage with E on him, and let's say it's post 6, and if he uses his ultimate, you can just snap back into your body, wait again, stack up your needle again, and then engage again, and do your ult finally. Same thing, similar to Kled. Kled is also has nothing to stop you, really. You can just engage with E on him and just do your things and just snap back, and he has nothing to actually face that. Leblanc is one of these champions who will just look to poke you on the lane. Again here, stay out of the range of her Q range, so she cannot Q you for free and then just dash on you, because if she dashes while she Q'd you, then she will do a lot of damage. So this is what you should avoid, guys. But other than this, you should be really fine against Leblanc. If you just keep in mind to stay out of her range, just farm a little bit. On level 3, you can go for these trades, short trades, E in, Q3 her, knock her up, do some auto attacks, and then just snap back. And she will be not able to do anything. Also easy is Lissandra. I'm gonna put her also in the easy bracket over here. We've got a lot of easy people, guys. Lissandra will, the only thing that you have to keep in mind is her Q. The travel distance will be increased when she hits a minion that is in front of her. With that in mind, just stay away from the minions, especially from minions that are low on health, okay? Because Lissandra player, they will just look for these low minions, and then they will just throw the Q, and the travel distance will be longer because she hit the Q, she hit the minion, killed the minion, and it eventually will hit you. So stay away from the minions, guys. Other than this, guys, it's all good. It's an easy matchup. You do your pretty combo, just engage on her. You can run Conqueror, standard rune page against her, and it's all good. She can now really poke you if you stay away from that, if you stay away from the minion wave. Do we cover Lucian because he's an ADC, but sometimes people play him on the mid lane? Not really. Okay, let's go for Lux. Lux also is easy bracket, in my opinion. Lux is all about her snare. If you can dodge it with your E, you should be fine. Okay, it's all about her E. She is super immobile. She has no disengaging tools besides her snare. So as I said, if you can dodge that, she is fucked up. So you can dodge her snare simply with your E, dash to the side, and then just run at her. Do you katana things and just kill her. Alright, next one on the list is Malphite, and Malphite is actually one of these champions who can burst you down, who will poke you a lot. So it's not really easy to face this champion, especially that he will build a lot of armor and will actually deny a lot of your damage. So I'm gonna put him into the even bracket. So what Malphites will do, they will mostly proc their arcane comment. I'm not really sure the name of, what's the name of that rune, okay? I think it's arcane comment though. So they will just Q you and to proc that rune, and this arcane comment will just fly on you to do some bonus damage. This is what Malphites do usually. So with that in mind, guys, you wanna pick up you wanna pick up Doran's shield and second wind. On your mastery keystone should be Conqueror, because the traits will be extended. Whenever he throws his Q, you can just, whenever the slow duration is over, you can go for these traits and just do your pretty combo, engage on him, and drop him low. You do this two or three times, and you can kill him after that. The only thing is with Malphite, if he pokes down, this is what you have to avoid, because he will do it like, I don't know, like two or three times. Then he will just engage with the ult on you, and you will be dead. Same thing if the jungler comes, if the enemy jungler comes, he will do the same thing, and you will be dead. So not really easy to play against him. At the same time, it's not really too hard to kill him. But his playstyle is what makes it a little bit harder than these easy champions that you face. Okay, this is why I'm gonna put him in the even bracket. So we have to talk about Malzahar, guys, because Malzahar is pretty easy. So you have to say something. Malzahar is gonna look for pushing all day. He will try to push you in all day. You just try to last hit these minions, and you can engage on him whenever you want. 3-6, it's really easy. Okay, you stack up your NATO again, you just E forward, you just engage on him, and it's all good, guys. You can disable his passive by just simply Wing him. This is an English word, I don't know. But you just E forward, do W before you Q3 him, and then you can knock him up. Okay, you disable the passive like that. Just make sure to use your W before you knock him up with the Q3. 3-6, this is really easy. Post 6, all you gotta do is like buy this item. I forgot the name of it, but it will disable his ult. Same thing for Mordekaiser on the top lane. I'm gonna put him also in the easy bracket. All you gotta do is like buy this item that disables his ult, and you are Gucci. Okay, so Mordekaiser will be looking for Qs. Okay, he will be looking for to land his Q ability on you. It's a skill shot. And unlike Malphite, that is a point and click ability, Mordekaiser's ability is a skill shot. He has to land it, and if you just avoid getting hit by this ability, which is really easy as Yone, because you can stay back a little bit and just Q and just farm minions with your Q, so it shouldn't be a big problem against Mordekaiser, especially when his when his shield is down, when he will usually, what Mordekaiser do is they will use their W to heal back, and whenever this is down, you can engage on them easy. You can just, if you see that, engage all in. Okay, all in. Just E forward and then just slap him, okay? Try to dodge, and it's all good. Post 6, once you got this item, you just press it and you will get out of his ultimate. Maokai is not a top laner, more like a support, but Nasus is a top laner, and Nasus is easy. Okay, we don't have to talk about Nasus, I think, because Nasus is only will be only dangerous later on once he has like, I don't know, like 700 stacks, but until then you can just shit on this guy. Okay, we don't have to really talk about this guy. You pick, of course, you pick up Conqueror, you pick up Taste of Blood, guys, Raven Santa, and you are good. You should be just try to force him away from the minions. If you can't really kill him because he's playing safe, just try to freeze your minion wave in front of your tower, so he cannot last at these minions and stack up his Q. Okay, this is key in this matchup, because if you just push it out all day and he gets to Q these minions, he will stack up his Q, and then he will become a threat later on. So definitely try, if you can't kill him, try to freeze the lane, let him suffer, okay, and avoid him getting these Q stacks. Next up on the list, we got Nico. Nico is actually one of these matchups that I find is hard. Why is that? Simply because of her Q, and you can say because of her whole kit. She can just disappear, she can go invis, she can duplicate herself, she has disengage, and whenever you try to engage on her, she will just throw her, her snare, and into Q. So she will be doing a lot of damage and snare and locking you down at the same time. And whenever you try to engage on her, she will just press W, duplicate herself, and just run in another direction. So she has that disengage that makes it actually not easy to kill her. At the same time, her Q and the snare makes it actually hard to lane against her, because she's gonna look for these snares into Qs. So what you have to avoid is definitely don't stay next to the minions. Stay a little bit away from them, because she's gonna try to hit them with the Q at the same time you. So stay away from that. And try to, before you engage on her, try to bait out her snare. If you can do that, if you can dodge that with your E, then you should be fine. It's easy to apply the damage then. But don't, just avoid to engage on her when she has her snare up, okay? Because then she can just snare you, lock you down, and then throw her Q, do her damage, and maybe ult, and you are done, okay? Okay, the next one is Orianna, and I'm gonna put Orianna in the even bracket, because till level 3, this matchup is tough till level 3, because she's gonna play aggressive, and she's gonna look to auto attack you because of the passive. And what I can recommend you is to stay behind the minions, okay? Because her Q, if it passes through minions, it will do less damage until it arrives you, okay? The more minions it passes through, the less damage it does. So stay behind the minions, so her Q does less damage. And once you hit level 3, you can start to trade with her, but try to stay actually safe and not to get poked out of the lane, okay? This is like key. Once you got your 6, then your time to shine will be there. As for the runes, I recommend you to go Fleet Footwork. On the resolve tree, you pick up Second Wind, guys, and you can go either for Revitalize or for some more HP if you want to. Overgrowth, I think it's the name of it. And you go for Duran Shield. So whenever she tries to auto attack you to be aggressive, you will heal a lot back, guys, and you should be good to go. Alright, then we got Olaf. Olaf is a jungler, so we're not gonna speak about Brolaf. Then we got Ornn. I think it's a pretty easy matchup against Ornn, because you can predict his stun. I mean, you can predict his dash, so you can just dodge it. Shouldn't be a big problem against Ornn, in my opinion. You pick up Conquer against this bad boy. You can go for Second Wind if you get hit by these, what's it called? Pillars. You can spawn these pillars. If you get hit by that, you will just heal back. So Ornn is not a big deal, guys. Then we have one of the worst matchups for Yone, which is Pantheon. And I'm gonna definitely put Pantheon over here. The problem with Pantheon is he is one of these again. He's one of these point and click stunner, okay? He can just stun you and do his whatever he does. And if you trade back, he will just use his damage reflection ability, okay? Where he reflects, where he avoids all the damage income and just reflect it. So you can use that. This is the problem with Pantheon. So as for the runes, if you face this bad boy on top lane, guys, I recommend you to go for Fleet Footwork. Anything that gives you sustain, so that means go for bone plating, guys. Okay, whenever he jumps on you, bone plating will suck a lot of damage. Go for Doran's shield. Okay, so especially if he tries to land these Qs on you, he will heal back. Also, this is key to avoid these Qs, especially the empowered Qs. You want to avoid them, okay? Don't get hit by these Qs, because he's just gonna nuke you, okay? He is just gonna nuke you, guys. So you definitely want to avoid getting hit by these empowered Qs. This is only for advanced Yone players. You can, whenever he tries to stun you, he will just jump a little bit, right? And you can use your ult just in this very second to disable his stun. This is only for advanced Yone players though, okay? But if the Pantheon is really, really good, the only thing you can do, guys, is stay back and farm. It's the only thing you can do, okay? Against good Pantheon. I'm talking about good Pantheon players. You want to stay back. Just farm, try to survive the lane. If the jungler helps you, hey, you good. If not, unlucky, okay? Try to survive the lane. Try to get as much minions as you can. And yeah, pray to the Lord. Right, Poppy, I'm gonna put Poppy over here into the hard bracket. Poppy has disengage and also makes it very hard to actually use your dashing abilities within her circle. I'm not really sure what ability it is, but she can spawn that circle that you cannot dash if you are inside that circle. Poppy can just kick you away and can disengage basically whenever things are getting too hot. She can just disengage, and that makes actually killing Poppy not that easy. Also, she builds tanky, so against Poppy, what I can say, guys, is you stay away from walls. Okay, this is key. Stay away from walls so she cannot stun you, because she's gonna look for a stun against the wall into Q. I think it is Q, where she does her damage below you and slows you at the same time. She will also look to hit you with the passive to get that armor. You want to stay out of that range, okay? It's really key to stay out of that range. For this, I recommend to pick up Doran's shield, guys, so whenever she throws that on you to this passive thing, you will heal back. Also pick up second wind, and you should be good. Go for the short trade, and if you drop her low, you can look for an all-in to kill her. If not, just stay back, just relax, and farm your minions, okay? Look for the short trades once you got her low, and then you engage on her. Maybe you get her, maybe she's gonna do her ult, but a good Poppy player can know how to face, how to deal with Yone, okay, on the top lane. Right, then we got Quinn. Quinn top lane is actually easy. The early level 1 will be hard, level 2 as well, but once you reach level 3, you should be okay. Like, all you gotta do against Quinn is stack up your nado, you E forward, you Q her, do an auto attack, snap back, because she's gonna do her E anyways. She's gonna try to knock you back, but you're gonna just press E and you should be Gucci, okay, guys? And once you got your post 6, you can just all in her with all the damage you got, and you can just one shot her, and it's really easy actually to play against Quinn. So just the early is a little bit difficult, because she's gonna look to poke you, to auto attack you. Just stay in these bushes, try to last hit here and there. If you miss some minions, it's not a big deal, because later on at level 3 and 4 you will be able to kill, you will be able to trade into her, and post 6 you can even go for a kill against Quinn. Then we got Kiana. Kiana is also an easy matchup. Not really much to say about Kiana, just stay away from walls, because she's gonna try to use her R, of course, and throw you towards a wall to stun you, and then do her combo. So just stay away from walls and you should be okay. She's really squishy. Go for trades at level 3 and poke her down and even kill her. Stay away a little bit from the minions, because she's gonna throw her Q on the minions and maybe hit you as well. So this is what you should keep in mind, guys, to stay away from the minions, so you don't get poked down. You pick up Conqueror against this guy, Taste of Blood, Ravenous Hunter, you just all in her, you're Gucci. So then we got Renekton. Renekton is a lane bully, and actually I faced Renekton one time and I actually beat him, but still I would put him over here into that bracket, into the hard bracket, because really good Renekton can actually make you suffer. What Renekton players are looking for is to stack up their passive, the Fury. Okay, they will dash forward with their E. They will then stun you into Q, and then they will just dash out. This is the standard combo for Renekton players. So with that in mind, guys, you want to stay away whenever this guy has fully stacked his passive. That's it. Because he eventually will use it on minions, and then you can just engage on him. Once the passive is gone, you can engage on these people, but avoid engaging on Renekton whenever he has his passive fully stacked. As for the runes, I recommend to go for Conqueror, guys, against this guy, and Bone Plating. So whenever he engages on you, Bone Plating will suck the damage. Right, then we got Riven. And Riven, I'm gonna put Riven into the even bracket over here. It's a skill matchup. If the Riven is a good Riven, then it will be hard. The matchup will be hard, but usually the matchup against Riven is in your favor, because all she's gonna look for is to dash forward with the shield and then try to Q you. With that in mind, guys, all you gotta do is, like, you only engage when she uses her Q, because Riven players, they will use their Q on the minions to push it in, and whenever she does that, you can just engage on them. Okay, you just stay back, farm the minions, it's all good. And again, I recommend here, just like same to Renekton, I recommend to go for bone plating whenever they engage on you and try to stun you. Bone plating will suck a lot of damage, and you can actually just jump around and avoid even getting hit by the third Q of her. Okay, her third Q will just knock you back, and you can easily avoid getting hit by that. All right, the next two champions are easy matchups, I think, in my opinion. Rumble, I'm gonna put him into the easy bracket, because all you gotta do is like stay behind minions. He will just look to slow you with the E, but you can avoid that easy by staying behind the minions. And then whenever he goes on cooldown, you can just trade into him, and he will actually have no chance because he has no disengages. It's easy to kill this guy. And all you gotta do is like stack up your NATO, engage on him with the E, you E forward, and then do your combo, snap back into your body, and that's it. And post Zix, you can go for an easy kill on this guy. Same thing for Rise. Rise is also not a big deal. Of course, he will look to snare you somewhere, but this shouldn't be a big problem, because you can just close the distance between yourself and him with your ult. All right, then we got Set. Set, I'm gonna put him as well in the easy bracket over here, guys. He's also an easy matchup. It's not a big deal, because Set is a champion that are looking for extended trade fights, trading. So you can easily avoid that by snapping back into your body. You as Yone can decide how long the trade will go. So this makes it really easy. And Set is one of these champions. They are looking for extended trades, and this is what you have to avoid against Set. So you just go for these short trades, poke him down, half-life, and then post Zix, you can just engage on them and kill them. It should be really easy. As for the runes, I recommend against Set Conqueror. You can go for Conqueror, and you can go for Taste of Blood and Raven's Hunt on the second tree. So not a big deal, guys. Same thing for Shen. Shen is also one of these champions that look for extended trades because of I think it's his W. I'm not really sure, because he can avoid damage through auto attacks. Okay, he can do that shield and avoid all the incoming damage. So he will look to taunt you and then shield himself to get that sword to him, get that shield to avoid your auto attacks. But Yone is not really about auto attacks. Yone is more like a combo champion, so you will not have a big hard time against this champion, because all you're looking for is to combo your abilities. You can just simply, whenever you stack up your NATO, just like similar to Set, you can just jump on him, do your combo, and just snap back into your body, and it's all good. Same thing you can say for Cyan, also not a big deal. And for these bad boys, you go all Conqueror. Singed, he will just proxy. He will just not fight you. He will just look for farm, and you should also look for farm. Just look for your farm, and he will also look for his what's it called, minions. Okay, next one up on our list is Silas, guys. And Silas, I'm just gonna put him into the even bracket, because his early. Let me put him over here, because his early. And Malphite belongs over there. Okay, his early is really strong because of the damage he has, because of the burst damage he has, and also the heal back of his W. So you should avoid getting stunned by him, because he will look for an E forward. He will E forward and then try to stun you and do his whole combo. This is what you have to avoid as Yone, because the early stages of this matchup, of this lane, will be rough. And all you gotta do is like stay behind the minions, okay? Stay behind the minions and look maybe for an early anti-healing item, for an early executioner. Because with an executioner, you will just slow down his healing, and it will be much easier to kill him. But overall, you should just look for farming, playing passive, get these minions, okay? Go for short trades if you want to go for trades, just for short trades. Avoid getting hit by his stun and then the combo. because after your mythic item, you should be good to go to kill this guy. So all you gotta do is like basically farm up your mythic item and you're good to go. If you want, you can go for an early executioner to slow down his healing. That will help 100%. But all you gotta do is like basically stay back and farm your mythic item, because after your mythic item, it will be much easier. It will be in your favor, this matchup, and it will be actually easy to kill him. So then we got Syndra, guys. Syndra, I'm gonna put her over here because it's not into the easy bracket. I'm gonna put her into the even bracket. Because Syndra, if she hits her stun, she can just burst you down and you will be dead and you can do nothing against that. So it's all about dodging her abilities. I'm not really sure how good you are in dodging, but it's all about the dodging. If you cannot dodge her stun, you will be dead, guys, okay? She will look to poke you down, to stun you, and whenever you try to engage on her, let's say you stacked up the NATO and you E forward, she will just stun you. She will just throw that ball in your face and stun you, and then do her ultimate and everything she does and just burst you down. She's really good in bursting down people, especially with Electrocute. So definitely not an easy matchup, but it's not impossible to beat her. Okay, it's not impossible, definitely not impossible, guys. All right, then we got Talon. Talon, I'm gonna put him, like when it comes to Talon, guys, all you gotta do is like avoid getting hit by his, I think it's the W, where he throws these swords and then they return back to him. This is what you have to return. This is what you have to avoid, to get hit by this ability. So in order to do that, you want to stay back from minions, because most likely he will use it on minions and to hit you at the same time. So just stay away from these minions, okay? From low life minions, you want to stay back. Problem with Talon is, and this is why I'm gonna put him into the even bracket, he has stealth. And stealth, by that I mean he can just disengage if he want to, and he can just engage on you and burst you down. He has a lot of burst damage, so if he hits his W, I think it is, he will just jump on you, and especially if he got 3 marks with the passive, he will do a lot of damage into ult and he will just burst you down. So he has a lot of burst damage that you have to be aware of it. So this is why I'm gonna put him into the even bracket. Recommend to go Conquer against this bad boy and pick up a bone plating and you should be good to go, guys, against him. Next up we have Tryndamere on the top lane. Where do I put Tryndamere? It's not really hard to lane against him. You can disengage whenever he ults and all that juicy stuff. So I'm gonna put him into the easy bracket, guys. So Tryndamere is just gonna... The only thing about Tryndamere is his ult, and you can play around it. With your abilities, you can easily play around it. You can just poke him down with your Q whenever he goes for the minions. You can just Q him. The only thing that you have to be aware of is he's gonna probably walk up, try to hit. Maybe sometimes they don't hit even the minion. They just walk up and then they just spin back. Okay, try not to get hit by these spins. This is really important. Okay, once this is on cooldown, you can just E forward and just slap him with the auto attacks and Q. So it's not a big deal. If he ults, you can just snap back, wait until the ult is down, you stack up the NATO and just go back into that. You pick up Conqueror, guys, and you should be Gucci. And maybe you can go for an early Executioner to slow down his healing, and that would be even better. Alright, guys, next up on the list we got Teemo. Do I have to speak about Teemo, guys? We're just gonna drop it into the easy bracket because it's easy to lane against him. He has no disengages, you can just jump on him, just smack him, okay? The only thing that is important about Teemo, he will just spit on you in the early until you get to level 3. Then once you get to level 3, you can just engage on him and apply a lot of damage. So stay back in the early. Pick up Doran's shield and fleet footwork, and you should be good to go, guys. You can just heal back whatever he tries to get away from you. Twisted Fate, same thing on the mid lane, also an easy matchup. He has no disengages, he's immobile. It's easy to kill this champion, and just gonna put him as well in the easy bracket. Like, he will stun you, of course, and once if he uses his card, let's say a blue card, this is like the perfect time where you can just engage on him, because it's on cooldown. You can now use it as the yellow card, and you should be good to go, guys. Urgot can be a little bit harder. I'm gonna put him over here. Cho'gath is a little bit tankier, and he can dash forward to get you in his circle of doom. I'm just gonna call it like that, where he just starts to shoot at you, and he for some reason never stops. Okay, this is the only thing that you gotta be aware of. So you have to dodge his dash. So up on the list we got Veigar. Veigar is also an easy matchup. He can burst you down, but it's really easy to dodge his stun. So you play safe in the early, stack up the tornado. Once you get stacked up, you just E in and then you do your combo and just snap back. It's easy to kill Veigar. It's not a big deal. So next up on the list we got Vel'Koz, also squishy. Squishy as hell. Easy to kill him. He has to land his stun in order to do something. So one of the easiest matchup out there, because you can easy dodge his damage, you can easy dodge his Q, you can easy dodge his W, his stun. Also his ult shouldn't be a big problem, guys. So just stay behind the minions. Don't get hit by his poke abilities and you should be okay. Then we got Viego. Viego is like a jungler, you can say, not really. People use him in the jungle. Then we got Victor. Victor is also one of these easy matchups. Dude, I have to build up another easy bracket because of so many easy matchups. Victor is also an easy matchup. Also in mobile, just like Vel'Koz, just like Veigar, just like Twisted Fate in mobile. So it's easy to kill these people. They will most likely play safe, of course. So in the early ranks, you want to stay back a little bit, guys, and farm up. You can engage whenever you get your Nado, and then it should be easy. So next up on the list we got Vladimir. I'm gonna put Vladimir not in the easy bracket. I'm gonna put him into the even bracket, because Vladimirs, they will look for their Q on you. So to avoid that damage, guys, you want to have Doran's shield, of course. You can go for second wind on the second tree. You go for resolve, right? And they will look to get that heal back. Also right here you can go for an early execution to slow down the healing. But once you get your Berserker's Greaves, you should be okay against this guy. He will try to dodge your Nado or your ultimate with his pool. You gotta be aware of this, but as I said, you got Nado and you got two abilities to actually stick to your target, so it shouldn't be a big problem to stick to it, even though if it's Vladimir. What you have to be aware of and what you have to avoid to get hit by his abilities whenever his little bar, which will turn into red from yellow into red. Once it's red, you want to avoid getting hit by his abilities, okay? Whenever it's red, you just walk back until he uses it on a minion. Once Vladimir have used his empowered ability on a minion, then you can walk forward and look for trades. Next up on the list, we got Wukong. Wukong is, I'm gonna put him over here. I'm a Wukong main. I know how easy it is to play against Yone. Wukong has everything to actually screw a Yone player, because he can just dash forward, he can just jump on you. He's all about, Wukong is the champion, he's all about jumping on you and just destroying you, okay? He will just knock you up with the ult and then he will just go invis. He can dodge your Nado, he can dodge your ultimate. It's really easy for Wukong to play against Yone. So as a Yone player against Wukong, you wanna stay back, farm in safety, guys. Farm the minions, okay? Once you have your items ready, once you have your mythic item ready, guys, you can look for trades. But I think you need like, I don't know, like 2 items to actually beat this champion. Because until then, until mid game, he will have the upper hand, okay? He's a little bit vulnerable at level 1. You can try your luck, but besides that, once he hits level 3, it's not that easy anymore. Especially if he hits level 6. Once he hits level 6, you don't touch him anymore. Don't look for trades even, okay? Once he hits level 6, he will just shit on you, okay? He will just shit on you. So don't touch him. Until level 6, you will have the chance to kill him. yes, but once he hits level 6, then hey, you back off. So the next champion we are gonna talk about, or we're gonna raid, is Xerath. We're gonna put him into the easy bracket, guys. Straight up into the easy bracket right there. Okay, let's get him over here. That's right. So Xerath is all about poke. It's one of the easiest matchups. He will just look to poke you. So what you have to pick up is Second Wind, Doran's Shield to survive that poke. And you wanna go for Fleet Footwork, and you should be good to go, guys. Once you hit your level 3, you can just engage on him. He will try to stun you. And you can do it like that. This is how I like to play against Xerath. I stack up my NATO. I just NATO him. And if I see he wants to stun me, I just E to the side. Okay, I use my E basically to dodge him. And this is how you can do it as well. And you should be good to go against Xerath. So now we're gonna talk about his brother actually, which is Yasuo. And we're gonna put Yasuo into the even bracket because Yasuo is very mobile and you gotta take care of not throwing your abilities and waste them, because whenever he got minions over there, he will be able to dash a lot and dodge your abilities. So what I recommend is use your ultimate once you have knocked him up with his Q3. He will look to actually win wall your Q3, so you need to be aware of it. But you can just use your E to get behind his win wall and then Q3 him. Okay, then NATO him into ult him. Okay, this is how you want to play it. So you want to pick up Conquer, of course, guys. You want to pick up you can also pick up Fleet Footwork. It doesn't really matter, but you can go for Conquer or Fleet Footwork. It's up to you. Go for Taste of Blood and Ravenous Hunter and do it like I said. Stack up your NATO, try to get it behind his wind wall, and then do your combo, guys, and snap back into your body. It shouldn't be a big problem against Yasuo. So then we're gonna talk about Yorick. We don't really have to talk about Yorick. Yorick is an easy matchup, just like similar to Rumble, similar to Set, Shen, Cyan is not a big deal. They are all about sustain, and you want to look for these short traits, and it should be all good. The next one on the list is Zed, and Zed, I'm gonna put him into the hard bracket, guys, over here. Because Zed can be really annoying if the player knows how to play Zed, actually. So what you want to do is, like, you want to abuse level 1 till 5 to poke him as much as you can. Okay, try to bait out his W. Once his W goes on cooldown, you go for an all-in. Okay, this is where your window starts. Okay, this is where your window opens, and you can look for damage. Okay, 1 till 5, you want to abuse it a lot. Run Fleet Footwork, guys, because you need a lot of sustain. And on the second tree, I recommend to go for Resolve, picking up a Bone Plating and Revitalize to get some more healing done, okay? As for the starting items, I recommend against this bad boy to go for Doran's Shield. So the next two matchups are poking matchups, you can say, Zix and Zoe. I'm gonna put Zix into the easy bracket and Zoe into the even bracket. Why this? I'm gonna explain that. So Zoe is one of these champions that you have to be aware of. Whenever you want to engage on her, she will just throw her bubble and put you asleep. And this is a big problem. If this happened, she can just burst you down. Zix, on the other side, has no disengages, okay? And he has only skill shots. And if you just run at him, he has nothing actually to disengage or to stop you from that. Okay, so Zix is really, really weak against Yone and can just simply engage on them. So in these poke matchups, I recommend you to go for Fleet Footwork and Second Wind and Doran's Shield, guys, and you should be good to go. This is the tier list, guys. We just made it to the end. For all these people who made it to this point of this video, hey, thank you so much for watching this until here. It was a long ass video. Hopefully you can take something out of this video. Hopefully it was helpful. And yeah, leave me a like, subscribe to that channel. I can't even speak anymore because I spoke so much Subscribe to the channel for some more juicy content, guys. And with that being said, hey, have a wonderful day.